the morning recordings will go into a particular folder and make it super easy. That's the goal. That's the idea. But in theory, we are recording. Miss Barbara, can you check our hearts and then we'll get started?
Yes, I will. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we come before you, Father, thanking you, Lord, for all that you do and continue to do in our lives. Father, we invite your Holy Spirit to just have your way today, Father. We thank you, Lord, because your word says, Father, to delight yourself in the Lord, Father, and you will renew our strength, Father. We thank you, Lord, that you would give us the desires of our heart. We thank you, Father. We just stand on your word today, Father. We thank you for your blessings, Father. We thank you for your guidance. We thank you for your wisdom. We thank you, Father, that you continue to bless us, that we be a blessing to others. We thank you for all that you do. We give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Hey, were you still laughing about that song?
Yeah.
Huh? I don't know who's being honest, but it's so honest. Oh.
Yeah, that's something. You almost gonna, Miss Barbara almost gonna finish.
Well, listen, that's going to start the day, okay?
Yeah.
It definitely is. But I'll get that posted as well as a couple other versions, six-figure trading coach and all the things. But it's just something to think about. So let's not let Trump ruin our day. I know there's talking and other stuff, but we'll go over that in here in a second. Good morning, everyone, especially good morning to William, who just does all the things. I know you copy and paste that. You must copy and paste that because that is a lot. But I love you so much for just taking the time to honor each and every person on this call to the best of your ability. That is a gift, and I'm grateful for you. So now I'm going to minimize everything. So we're pretty cleaned up. I'm going to go here. Obviously, disclaimer, trade at your own risk. You guys know this. Don't go full port. Be patient. We know this. Okay. Now, the hard part of doing it. Prop firms, as we were talking about, if you were on earlier, take profit just is by far still the easiest. Less drama. My big long-term goals are Apex. I'm not going to fib. It's not an easy goal. It's not easy, but they're a really cheap trading ground. And of course, Blue Guardian, downside is that you really have to, they don't really rebuild. So you need to be on that, but get one account if you're trying to be on Project X. I will say Project X is publicly using all of your trade data, your information. So that is definitely a drawback, but I'm just giving you 100% the real, the good, the bad, and the ugly, because that matters, right? Please make sure you're using code 6FTC anytime you're buying those things. And also don't go full port in buying them. Like let's set ourselves down and have our budget for the month and do that. And then hopefully get your 5-10 grand payout with Take Profit Trader. It's not that hard to make $5,000 or $10,000 a month. It is very, very practical and possible. I promise. It's not a far-fetched goal or like well, what could I make this happen? Would this happen? But TPI came on this morning. This is NQ. We swept the highs. There are still a ton of imbalances. All of our point of controls are to the downside. I'm really glad with how this wicked up. I'm hoping to see us come down at least into here. This is yesterday's low during New York, right? This is pre-market low, pre-market high, yesterday's high. If we get below yesterday's high, this is where we closed yesterday too. Wow, we're dropping. Hey, honey, hush.
Well, yesterday's low filled about 50% of that gap. So,
This first gap, yeah.
yeah, that's a decent fill, and it might be all it's going to get for a
We'll
long
see.
time.
Yeah, that's the worry. That's definitely the concern right now. It's anybody's market right now. So where's my 305? Let's go to the other account. Gold also has a lot of gaps to the upside. So we're looking to see if we can't fill that. But here's NQ. This is where market closed yesterday. Again, if we can get below and stay below yesterday's high, this is 30-minute. We're targeting yesterday's close. Okay, so look at these price points on the right of my screen. That's 1959. Okay. Might be targeting pre-market low. Okay. If again we get below close and retest, okay, this is all by itself, its own strategy. I'm targeting New York's close. If we can fill the rest of this gap, I'd be targeting the rest of this gap and then looking for a reaction. And of course, bigger picture, I don't know that we're going to get it, okay, but would be to come down here and fill this imbalance. That's a pretty big ask though. So those are my big targets. Obviously, it's very hard to buy up here, but we're going to go with whatever the market gives us to the best of our human ability. Last 30-minute candle closed as a wick, but that's news related. That's a data candle. Gold, we're got a nice little doji. We did sweep a little bit of the low that we've experienced the last hour. We filled this imbalance to the best of our ability. If we pop up the 1 hour time frame, here was a nice little imbalance. We filled that. I'd really love to see us get above it, but we need to be mindful. That's pretty far away if we're actually using the wicks, okay? If we're using the wicks, that's pretty far away to be looking to break. So to trade up into this and see if we get the reaction and then back down, to break and retest this, but comparable story. So we're sitting at where we closed yesterday, which means the market hasn't done much. We're getting a lot of volume overnight and then not a lot during New York. It's just very strange price action like Jonathan and I were talking about a minute ago. But same concept. I'd like to get above yesterday's high. That's New York's high. Take out pre-market's high. And then again, we've got a nice imbalance up here. We still haven't filled this entirely, but we filled most of it, you know, so that's something to look at. We also have this nice little downward trend line that we're bouncing off of. So we've got 3 beautiful touches. So not a bad way to be. Move that down. I'm going to remove that. Let's see if we can respect that and push up. So I'm going to go remove that because I don't want that one on there. And we'll see. So that's gold. ES looks a lot like NQ. This is market close yesterday at 4 whatever PM. Pre-market, yesterday's high, yesterday's low, and pre-market low. So I'd, again, like to see us stay below yesterday's high, come down and at least take out pre-market highs, pre-market lows. Beyond that, we've got this nice imbalance and yet another imbalance. So quite a bit of gaps on the table. All of the point of controls are to the downside for the last week, including the week prior to that, if we're being honest. So we'll see how much more this can push up. We do have Trump talking and a whole bunch of other things. And then, of course, YM is actually the outlier. It looks quite a bit different. Here's our yesterday's high. The news and or pre-market has not really broken above that. Yesterday's close, yesterday's high. Pre-market low, pre-market, oh, yesterday's low. I'm looking to come fill this imbalance. We have not done that yet. So a lot of janky price action, a lot going on the charts. There's just a lot. Today I'm going to be trading my couple of take profit accounts. Those are pro accounts. I'm going to be on some sim accounts that I'm playing with on this Ninja Trader, and then a few eval accounts from Apex that I don't mind what happened to because I'm just testing out some things. I'm trying to figure out why when I take an ES and it's supposed to be mirroring to an MES, it doesn't listen all the time. Sometimes it does and sometimes it doesn't, and it doesn't appear to be settings related. But we'll see. So I'm going to see if I can get in touch with somebody who's smarter than me on that. And we have 1 minute to opening bell. So I'm popping all the way down to the 2 minutes. If you're finding that the 2 minute is not what you want, maybe consider the 5. The 5 is clean. It's simple. Not a lot of trauma, not a lot of drama. I'm going to pull up the chat and do my best to say buying or selling. But again, as the breakout box appears, when we're breaking above, you can take that trade, period, across the board. Okay. Obviously, you're going to want to micromanage that first entry. Sometimes it might move a whole bunch, but otherwise, you're just looking to get that little bit. Anik, yes, Blue Guardian is a pain in the butt to buy because they keep denying it. You have to call your bank to get approved. I haven't traded a lot of MYM. Okay, gold's going down. That's lovely. Where is our box? Fantastic. Nothing's painting. Give it a second. I'd like to sell NAS all the way down to at least yesterday's close. That's a very fair trade. This is not loading very well, so I can't show like a box or anything. But just to kind of give you an idea, that's here. Beautiful trade overall. Gold is pumping back up, which is exactly what we wanted to see. I don't know why. There we go. There's our box. So the 2 minute range is just now starting to form. We've got 40 seconds left on it. A little bit more effort or attention. That's everything you need right there. That's your whole trade. You don't even need any single thing else. I'd like to sell this down all the way into here once we get a little bit more confirmation. Wick to the downside. Don't love that wick. Really wanted to see better than that. 144 ticks. Gold did a nice push to the downside. Nothing on gold. No idea why this is so laggy. That I don't have a lot running today. Honest. Honest. NQ is breaking out on the 1 minute to the upside. On the 1 minute time frame. Here we go. Can we buy? We've got a minute and 30 seconds left on this 2 minute candle. Can we buy? If you are to buy this, I would be buying it into this before I try to target this area because I'm not super looking for the buys today. But of course, we're going to do our best to follow the rules as is, as they are. Yeah, Nick, you got to call the bank. That's the biggest drawdown with them is they're in Dubai, so they don't allow a lot of it's just harder to get approved. When and if we break above, I'm looking for that trade, but we don't have it. And Q is still kind of sitting in that 2 minute range. Oh, we're breaking out. Is that weird that that candle's painting that way? The box is painting that way, or am I just missing the other part of that candle? Or we changed
Or you have
this.
it set to a fixed 5 minute.
Yeah, I think we changed the settings for a call. I was like, this is not making any sense. Yeah, we done broke it. I broke it. I was like, yeah, that's not tracking. I was like, it's showing me a break to the down on the other ones. So I've missed that break. Go me. Again, I'm targeting here, guys. Here before I'm going anywhere else. Okay. 100% here as my target. Just looking to take out that high. Is ES a little bit better? Now that we got our right stuff up. See if we can challenge that CPI high. Not yet. We don't have any trade just yet. I'm looking at potentially buying ES. ES is not confirmed. NAS is the one that, well, NQ is the one that kind of took off. YM also pushing to the downside, so that's interesting. So NQ would be the diverging one, huh? But we got a strong push on NQ. So we know that this is diverging from NQ. So make sure we're trading this very, very carefully. If you're going to take ES, we know YM is pushing to the downside. That's a huge divergence. That's going to form a great SMT for the reversal later. Potentially. Potentially. And gold is booming down. All right, I'm buying my ES. I'm in ES right now. I clicked it twice. That's not bad for an ES trade. I don't need 2 contracts on there. I'm going to lock it. It's probably going to knock me out if I lock it. Let's let that go. This is only on one account, which I'm okay with. I'm coming up. Let's let that keep going. Gold is really tanking down. I hope it doesn't wick down just to knock me out before it hits that high. That's what I'm hoping it doesn't do. Because I talked about this a little bit pre-class, is getting knocked out with that right there, like I just did, is a big problem. So right now I can wait for a retest. I can take it again, but just having, if I had just closed here, that's double the profit on that trade. But NQ just kind of stopped short of the high. I'm in love with taking this again, but take it at least so that we just stopped at pre-market high. That's not even, that's yesterday's high. We just stopped at yesterday's high. Here's the one standard deviation. And of course, that's all the way up there. Got a nice wick to the upside. Buying. I keep my stop loss away. Gold. I really wanted to get gold, but we just don't have it just yet. I'm sitting barely at break even still. I'll put it back on screen here in a second. I don't know why gold's not even bother printing a box for us. There we go. There's our box. I'm not getting any extension. A little bit of profit, nothing much happening there. Just a baby amount. We really want that to extend, give us that full extension to the upside. NQ, we're stopping at the pre-market, the news high. So I really want to see this make a nice strong wick, take everybody out, and then see if we can get the sell on the day. But we'll see. And then of course YM. YM pushed down. Let's let this paint for a second. I'm still up on ES. I'll protect it here in a second because it's just not getting any extension. There it is. So there's our 2-minute range. This is yesterday. Looking to buy YM. I have a wider range. I don't need to give it the whole range. You can give it half of the range or whatever it is you see fit. Don't have YM up. We're also sitting at the, I don't have management on this. So we're also sitting at that VWAP. I'm in 2 trades. YM and ES. That's ES. And YM. Well, that's it. You took the gold sell. Good for you. Good for you. I did not get the gold sell. What is gold doing? Other than selling catastrophically. It just took out pre-market lows. So gold, that's awesome. You hit the full target and you took out pre-market lows. So you're in a great place. And you took out yesterday's close too. That's awesome. I didn't get gold or NQ, but YM is looking good. ES is locked and is looking good. This is the high that I'd like to see us at least take, but I'm going to keep this kind of out of the way because this is going to come up and start to trail for me. So Our YM is doing fine. We've got 2 contracts on YM. I don't want to lock it too soon. Between those 3 trades, that's about $1,100, $1,000-ish. There's 2 entries on ES, 2 contracts here, 3 total entries. Oh, come on, don't knock me out. Don't want to be out just yet. It's gonna knock me out again. All in the effort to not be see, but that sucks to be up 200 and then to have it go into drawdown. That's $300 on your whatever you call it, your daily drawdown, your floating take profits. So we hit the full range on ES. Right now we're pulling back. I do think all the way up into here is still a really good target. Okay. Whether you're taking a new entry, whether you're managing your current entry, I wouldn't be giving it much beyond this 50% of this range. I'm not giving it any more than that. On YM, kind of comparable story. We've failed. So this is a nice divergence that we're seeing on here versus here. Versus here. I think this one's got to pull back up a little bit more. Give us a little bit more room. I'm going to lock YM as soon as I can. Nice little wick to the downside. We're also sitting at a pivot point, an hourly pivot point on NQ. Hold on. ES. ES's next major pivot is what? I gotta get that out of the way. 5896. That's gonna put us all the way into here. 5896. That's an incredible RR. And then YM. That last 1 hour candle on YM that was very bearish. Very, very bearish. We've got 14 minutes left on this hourly candle. We just completed our 15-minute range. And this is what that looks like on the 15-minute range. So that's ES. Looking to come, just sweep this high. That would be enough. And Q, beautiful. That was the best on the day. Big range though. So missed that. Real trading. Although honestly, I do best with ES. I like trading just ES. And then YM. We're still kind of respecting 50% of that range, but on the 1 hour time frame, I'm going to turn off all the indicators for a sec. Look at that last candle. Our biggest, most recent candle is still very bearish. So even if we're to take this high, this right here was unable to kind of break even with the news. So even the news wasn't enough to break this level. So as you're kind of close to entry on YM, I would definitely be looking for break even. If you have not already, because even the news wasn't enough to break this high. Is Trump talking right now?
I don't believe so from looking at the news right now.
Hmm.
His meeting is coming up at the top of the hour. Trump at Saudi U.S. investment forum.
Okay. Gold's taking
Healthcare just announced a new CEO and it went down 12% at the open.
United did.
Yeah.
Where does United fall though? I was looking earlier because United was the big one this morning. Oh, come on, quit
But
doing
health tech, I don't know if that's different. I'm not sure. I'm getting this off of a news feed, so
We might be looking to turn around now, guys. YM is still respecting 50%. 5-minute range is formed.
probably in health services down the bottom toward the right. To the right.
This one, right?
No,
Oh, this one. Oh,
there you go.
oh, I was like, what?
Yeah, down 14% now.
That might be the catalyst we needed.
Sorry, what about?
That might be the catalyst we need to kind of sell down a little bit. That's ES. But I don't think that's big enough, comparatively speaking.
Not just one company.
It's one
And you look at
company.
its relative size, you know, compared to the big boys to the left.
Nvidia's up, Apple, Google, Microsoft, Meta. Gold's trying to push up. Let me go back to our charts. I'm all off screen clicking around on all the time frames. Back to 2 minutes, guys. 15-minute is formed. NQ has made its high. This is our news data as well as our pre-market. Okay. And right now we're staying below it. So I really want to see how this ends up forming. Gold. Nice little double bottom forming. If we get above this previous candle, I'd be looking to buy. And Q's coming down. Let's see if we can't respect that zone. Our 1 hour is saying no. Our 1 hour says we've got how much? 10 minutes left on this candle. So in the next 20 minutes or so, we might pop back up. Okay. 20 minutes is a long time, but if you're looking at this from the bigger time frame, the pop back up and then tank down. ES on the 1 hour. Definitely looking for that pump up within the next 20 minutes. But then there won't be a big divergence. At least not on these. Actually, I can pull that up off screen too. NQ is still pushing up. Yes. I'm surprised that's not printing. So we wait. We wait. I do want to monitor gold though, because that's the trade I really wanted. Gold is kind of expensive to trade, but I kind of like it. It's really smooth. You get your like, I don't know, 2 points, and that's really all you need. You don't need a whole bunch, but right now we're still definitely selling down. 100% selling pressure. Amazon's up. Nvidia's up. Meta's up. I don't think I'm gonna get it any kind of my entry on this. And I don't want to sell. Like if I was gonna scalp that breakout, I would take the sell, but I'm not looking to sell as a big picture thing right now. Which just means I'm gonna miss out on those targets. We're already kind of breaking below that area. Yes, we had a nice little pullback, and now we're continuing again. Let's get our indicators back on. Again, just looking to take that high. Oh no, did I get knocked out of ES? I did. I got knocked out again. I wasn't watching it. So I missed the management saves me in a lot of ways, especially like on something like this on the class, but that sucks because that move versus that move, those are the bigger portions of the move. But I didn't keep that up because I had automatic management on it. So it is what it is. But beautiful trade overall. That's moved, I don't know how many ticks, pips, or points. A total of 13 points, $50 a point. That's a $700 trade if you held it the whole time. I'm not re-entering a third time on it. I'll miss the rest. I've still got my YM. This was already $200, but I moved my protection so I could kind of capitalize more. And that's kind of how it goes is, well, hey, I'm gonna let this one run, and this is the one that goes in the drawdown. And then this one, okay. Granted, there's more automation on this one for management. I didn't let this one run as much, and this is the one that goes up. And that's the real part of trading that no one ever wants to talk about. It's not as sexy, it's not as fun, but it's the real. It is the real, the axiom of trading. And I'm not going to go full port today. So if you missed that song at the beginning, it was hilarious. I've got a few others too, which are really fun. So much fun. I'll get them posted in the Discord. I think we're going all the way up to this pivot point, which is going to make for quite the move. Delete that now. We don't need it. And gold is still moving down. We're below the 8. We're below all the things. I really wanted gold, but I don't have it. Not yet anyway. Hourly time frame still has this really, really bearish. We filled every one of those. They're already filled. So nothing here. ES is pumping, NQ is pumping, and YM is kind of still sitting pretty steady. Let's see. I still want to see this pop up, but it's not popping up. At least not yet. I'll give this the first 15 minutes of that next candle to kind of just at least make sure we're in profit on it. Otherwise, I don't love it. It's just not, it's not moving, it's not doing anything. I haven't traded a lot of YM on Forex, sure, but I haven't done a lot of YM. I wanted to because it was the least expensive trade to learn, prepared to learn or instrument, but it just is too small. It's too everything to kind of trade effectively, I think. And there it goes ES beautifully. I'm not even in it. How rude. And Q has really taken off. No sign of sellers. I'm back in profit a little bit on YM. Just a little. So we'll see how this all plays out. I am gonna lock it this time though, because I don't wanna give any of that back. I'm catching some NAS. I can't with you, Edward. Good for you. Oh no, 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 no. See, I said I was locking it. I should have just closed out some. I'm gonna drop a sell order on there so I can kind of just get some of that off as we come back up this direction. Just because it's not moving as nicely as the other pairs are. It's just not moving as nicely as the other instruments at all. Whoever's trading NQ, you guys are set. Go buy your Maserati, because holy cow. It's actually not that much though. I know it's a lot, but it's not considering overnight we're moving 2, 3, 4, 5%. That's a beautiful trade, perfect trade.
Yeah, it's not really it's booming as fast as I thought it would actually move. So I don't know if the sellers may come in a little bit and then potentially buy back a little bit later, or maybe get that full retest. It's just hard to buy at the top right here
Yeah.
without like a good, pullback for a better entry.
I mean, just so we all learn together, I could have bought here. So when we reacted at this pre-market high and we started to break back above it, oopsie. So we didn't really come into the 20 moving average. We did come into oh, this is all kinds of laggy. The 8-ish moving average. Nice little retest. We could have bought here. But other than that, and plus I was already still, everything else was still looking like diverging. I wasn't very confident. So it's really hard to buy at the top.
And that's also about to be a 4-hour close, so full bullish candle here.
So this is gonna knock me out of one of those positions real quick. So you guys see. That's my YM. It's just not going anywhere. And that's the reality is sometimes the trade you wanted or what you missed or you weren't paying attention or your settings were wrong. And then the other trade, well, that's the one you didn't lock and it came back down and it was in drawdown and the other one wasn't. And I think it's also really easy just to trade one pair, one instrument, ES or NQ or whatever. Or gold. Gold is really expensive. It's very, very fun to trade. I don't think we're getting any kind of the turnaround on gold. Nope. Look at that. Beautiful, perfect. No drawdown, no nothing. We broke. This is on the 2-minute time frame. We retested beautifully. We tested back in. We have moved. We gave another entry, and we're still coming to the downside. Freaking beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, we got our 2. That's really it. I mean, I can hang out a little while, kind of see what we get on this. 3%, 2%, 1.8, 2. Some of the bigger ones are still sitting pretty green. And even the smaller ones, this one little 12% it's not gonna undo all these bigger ones. That's for sure. And we have a lot of bars to the upside still on NQ. Come on, baby. 1, 2, 3. Let's see if we can get something. This just isn't moving. So as you're coming to profit, just lock, just close. I got out of one of the 2 contracts I took in and around up here barely. So my entry is actually was a little bit earlier based off of what this candle way over here. Can I give you an idea? Which means I sat through profit, let it come back down against me, and took out a little bit in here, but now it's just not moving. If it was going to move like that, and it might still later on, that would be great, but I don't want to sit into a trade that I don't want to be in. So the whole purpose of trading New York was to catch this volume, to catch this big move. It's not giving it to us. So take the monies you got, small or large, and now's a good time to make sure you lock trail or get out because it's just not moving out. Just not. Unless this is the only trade you're in for the day and then you're done or something. In which case, do you? Do you, boo-boo? Okay, if you guys caught any money, use the breakout strategy, da 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 da. Will you pretty please put it in the chat and do all the little things so I can take a screenshot? All the things. Anything at all. Let me see if I'll pull this up. Did you take ES? Did you make money on ES? Are you holding YM? Did you make any money on YM? Did you take NAS or gold using the breakout strategy? Whatever, put it in the chat pretty please. I'm catching NAS right now. Because you're literally putting nothing in the chat right now. Nothing. There you go. Thank you. 65 on NQ. Good job. Were you trading the big one or the little one? That must be micro. Little. Okay. I'm holding my M for dear life. ES took me out with profit. Good job. Well, you're not in a lot of drawdown. You should be pretty close to break even or slight profit, right? On YM. $90 on NAS micro. Darius is up 300. That makes more sense. So it's like you shouldn't be down. Even the mini on YM is not too expensive. So this is 75 ticks at $5 that's $35 on one mini. This shouldn't be super expensive. Even holding it down into like here. But thank you. Thank you guys for dropping that. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Who has comments, questions, all the things? Now would be a good time to get all those answered. Oh, we're pulling down.
Oh, I've got a couple of questions.
Okay, come on out.
First of all, can you explain clearly what's going on with the Telegram channel?
So Uncle P has gotten rid of the super easy signal service, which is where a lot of people were subscribed. So in that signal service had the Telegram channel. He doesn't want any channels in terms of Futurex, et cetera, et cetera. So no more Telegram channel. All of that is going away. Anybody who works with me or the indicators or the things I do that are enrolled in 6FTC, they have access to that on Discord. Okay.
Okay, so your 6FTC channel is going away as well.
Yeah, my 6FTC channel is going away. So to my knowledge, they're going to keep super easy for the copycat. I think he keeps a running prop firm like a testimony channel, if you will. And that's that. So he'll probably keep that notification channel because he, as you know, he posts like a bajillion times a day, like those kinds of things, all the stuff that he's doing. And really it's the same people. And then of course he's doing that on YouTube as well. So that's what I think he's doing. Super Easy doesn't have a lot of trade talk, really. At this point, Super Easy itself, the Telegram channel, if you go through it, is really just an announcement channel. There's almost no discussion in there about trades or whatever. So, Super Easy, I collaborate. Jenny Baker collaborates with Futrix. I'm trying to get all my words right. I collaborate with Futrix, and that's that. So my classes will be available through 6FTC as well as through Futrix. The way Futrix is ran, just to clarify, guys, if you are enrolled with Super Easy, you make sure you use your free login or whatever that they have. If you don't have it yet set up, go to email them at whatever email, and they'll get you all set up with the Futrix login and whatever they need to do on the back end. I don't know any of that stuff. I have 0% access or understanding or knowledge of any of that stuff. And then that's that. So I think he has class on Wednesday. So if you're enrolled in Futrix, you have me Tuesday, Thursday, and then him Wednesday. And that's for Futrix. For 6FTC, I'm still gonna keep growing, blowing, and doing all the things. I have big goals in terms of some of these prop firms. I've never been a fan of prop firms. Definitely some love-hate relationship going on, especially the more I try to play with some of this tech. But take Profit Trader, for example, very easy. It's very doable to make real money once, twice a day. Honestly, just once, twice a day. There's a guy, I want to clarify with him, so I don't want to speak out of turn, but he literally does what he does. I think it's like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. and then 8 p.m. and that's it. And is getting payouts in the whole nines using the 6FTC breakout strategy. So kind of awesome. You don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of money. You don't need a lot of knowledge. And of course, you have access to my tool and my strategies in Futrix as well. I think that's that.
Okay, then one more question.
Mhm.
And this is completely unrelated, and that is regarding Tradovate. How ubiquitous is Tradovate getting to be among prop firms? I don't research prop firms. I'm wondering, I'm looking at if I were to recreate some of my tools on a futures platform, what should it be?
Oh, good question. Marketably, I would say to market them, definitely NinjaTrader. So here, you guys can hang out for a second. We're just talking. I would be looking for a potential buy, and then I'm looking for some kind of retracement if and ever we get one on NQ, but we're not there yet. So YM, I'm still holding. We're fine. Honestly, this is something I believe I have a new developer. I'm very excited about him. So he is a good human, and for that, that's what we want is just good humans. We're looking for a new moderator in 6FTC Discord. If that's you and you want to be part of that, there'll be perks and privileges and so forth. Please DM me on Discord, and I will definitely have you talk to our boss lady, who's 10 times smarter than me in all these things, and she'll interview you and do all the processes. But to answer your question, this is a big deal. So TradingView, you remember there's open script, there's AI. This industry is changing by the millisecond. So you're either on board or you're not on board, but you got to do something. TradingView, definitely. Okay. If you can get the stuff onto TradingView, I think that helps transfer to a lot. And remember, TradingView inevitably will link to every other platform. So as a visual, okay, for any of your visual kind of strategies, TradingView, that's a no-brainer. Now, usability, Tradovate is kind of I don't know a lot of people who use indicators on Tradovate personally. And I'm not to say that there's not some on there, but if you go, YouTube frenzy, most people who use their Tradovate platform aren't doing so with indicators. They're doing so for the speed and the execution and the copying that is completely seamless. They're not looking to analyze on Tradovate. And you don't have any like automation kind of like for your management tools. So Tradovate, in my opinion, is not a smart place to go and build on. NinjaTrader. Again, I have a love-hate relationship. I completely acknowledge I am definitely, to some extent, part of the problem. As you guys know, I use a VPS on a Mac. That could be the problem. I don't know what the problems are, but I would definitely be trying to code on NinjaTrader if I were you, Scott, and I would look to meet or beat affordableindicators.com. Because honestly, if you go look at his pricing, okay, and I'm sorry, guys, but Scott, I love him. He's a great human and he deserves the world. So go look at his freaking pricing, Scott, and look what he's built. I think you could 10x what he's built better, sell it for half the cost or 30% of the cost, way more accessible to people, and yours would be more functional. But it's a learning curve because I can tell you right now, if I could make everything work properly on NinjaTrader, I could trade 5 or 6 different prop firms, literally 30 accounts. I could do some amazing things. But if I were looking for your future competitor, it would be affordableindicators.com. He mostly specializes in NinjaTrader, to my knowledge. And he also does managers. And I think your managers put in place insane what you would be able to do. So that's my 2 cents. I wonder if anybody else has an opinion. And then last but not least, the thing I'll throw in there is we are in such a sketchy world right now. Remember, Tradovate and NinjaTrader are regulated, et cetera, et cetera. They have different licensing, but that might not always be the case. So right now we have a big access to features. It's all the way rave. But if you Forex is not gone, then we have stuff like trade locker. So we're just in this really unique space where slippage and spreads and legalities and regulations are a huge problem. So if I were to be looking personally for one other place, it would be trade locker, who supposedly is set to take over MetaTrader. So that would be my order of operations. I think you could meet or beat everything Affordable Indicators has done, and I will help you. I will promote you. I will do all the things. Because yeah, go check him out. And some of that stuff sells for thousands, and it is not even that effective. Thousands. His stupid trade manager thing is $4,000.
I haven't seen any. I'm looking right now and I don't see anything that is a full-on manager.
Oh, it is. Well,
I see a risk manager, you know, some things like bracket entry orders.
it's stupid. Yeah, and look how he sells them. Look
I
how
don't,
he
$4.95 for bracket entry orders. It's nuts.
No, not just that, but then he'll give you like a 50% off code or something. Guys, I'm up about 200. Oh no, sorry, 700 here just to show you guys 800. Okay, I need to close that so I don't accidentally start to sell as I get up here. But please, here in a second, I'm going to ask you guys to post again everything you've made on this call. It'll help our community. The more our community grows, the more all of us going. Yes, everything's going to the moon. I'm not in ES though. But check this out, Scott. Like, programming promotions. I honestly think you could beat, but it can't be heavy. And that's another big problem is it cannot be heavy. Most of the stuff on here is, I'm going to move all my orders out of the way. Move that out of the way. Move that. Sorry, I'm going to manage my YM trade. Just trading. Enhance CL products. Okay. This is the one I'm considering buying their super expensive one, but I'll hold out for you because I'm not in love with what I have thus far. Their Discord support is amazing. I won't fib, but their account dashboard is sweet. So I bought the whole thing that supposedly has risk management as well as all these features. But I'm telling you now, from my mouth to your ears, it's not. So it's one license. The settings in here don't work properly. Like, so if you're executing versus orders, it doesn't. There's something else going on, and I don't know what it is. I don't have all the answers. But you could beat this if you knew how to code in NinjaTrader language, whatever that stuff is. Your trade copier, which is what we need. I'm not the only one. I've asked literally probably at least 50 traders. Some of them stopped copy trading. Some of them only do Replicanto, which I can tell you is not that great. That's a $400 tool. But yeah, this is insane. And then if you go to the other thing, $4,000. And then I asked, I was like, cool, hey, I'm going to buy everything you have on your site. What's the best price you can give me? And they try to give me the same 50% off code that I could already get on the internet. And I was like, yeah, no, thanks. I was irritated with them because I would have bought every single thing on their site, everything, just so I could learn it. Professional chart trader, $4,000. Their typical running promo is about 50%. And if you look at these, the a la carte things, they're like $400 each. So if it were me, I would be looking to get good at NinjaTrader.
So NinjaTrader is available to many prop firms.
Yes. And who doesn't have NinjaTrader? Wait, NinjaTrader can also link into, hold on, let me not let my mouth run.
Well, it's the same owner as Tradovate, right?
It is technically the same owner, but Coinbase, bar chart, see Trader E Signal, external forex.com, NinjaTrader, NinjaTrader Continuum, which is different, NinjaTrader FXCM, which is different. Don't ask me what that is. Rhythmic, CQG. This can connect to literally everything or close to everything. Connects, Schwab.
Yeah, but I believe that NinjaTrader, it will connect to all those things if you buy it. It's free if you are with a NinjaTrader broker.
I don't know. Yes, maybe no. I don't know because NinjaTrader, I think you're right, but I don't know to what extent.
So let's see here. We're going to find their pricing for the platform.
That's a wild trade, guys. That's like $5,000 on the day, and I missed the two best ones. Just closed. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Darius, for that. Thank you, thank you. If you guys made money on any of those moves, pretty please post them in the chat real quick. I'm going to take a screenshot and do all the things. And then if you guys have opinions on any of this stuff, please do. Let's raise your hand and talk about it because it's a big deal. Scott, I think you can meet or beat the standards of that. Now, granted, there's a lot of liability because like somebody just said in the chat, it's how do you say? It's a problem. So somebody said the management doesn't work well on accounts that get reset. Can you explain what that means? Because I honestly don't know. All right, I got that screenshotted. Thank you. Sonia, what question, please? I'm gonna scroll up real quick. Look for you. Where can I need to find the live data so we can paper trade, please? Is Tradovate account a take profit on trade? Yes, Sonia, take profit trader has a Tradovate account. In my opinion, and this is only because I got it wrong enough to help you get it right, the cheapest way to get access to all the things you need, in my opinion, is through buying a single Apex account. It is $33, give or take right now. Definitely worth your time. So that's going to give you the pairs. It'll give you the live data and every single thing else. You can also do it from Take Profit Trader. I like that better as a broker, but it is more expensive. And until you know what you're doing, I'd rather have you go out and waste $30 than go out and waste $100.
Good morning, Jenny. How are you?
Good morning.
Jenny, I know I mentioned to you before I accidentally um, downloaded wealth charts with Apex, and you say you don't know too much about it, but I think it has a lot of good features along with including the not the prop trade, the copy trader is free on that as well. And I think that, I'm sorry, go ahead, what you about to say?
The only reason why wealth charts the copy trader is free, but it won't fix the problem I'm trying to accomplish. Tradovate also has a free copy trader that works seamlessly. There's never hiccup. No problems whatsoever. If you just trade on platform on Tradovate, their copy trader works amazingly. But wealth charts and or Tradovate won't copy trade through multiple firms, meaning if I have a take profit trader account, Apex account, a Blue Knox account, a My Funded Futures account, like any of those, okay, it won't copy trade through all of them. So I still would have. I'm sorry?
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah. And
Oh, really?
yeah,
So,
Wiltshire seems promising, but honestly, they're not as regulated or whatever. They seem to be the new flashy thing. So somebody with good AI tech came in, they created a cool platform. And yes, I think NinjaTrader is clunky, but WealthChart seems to be the new version of Project X, which again, the purpose of that is to take your data and sell it, and it's not, again, regulated. So I think it's just another, think about what happened with MT4. Everyone said dumped out, everyone created a new platform, called it stuff. That's kind of my opinion on wealth charts. Now, granted, that's an unbiased opinion, but it's, something to think about. So
Okay. So excuse me. So basically, wealth chart um, is still in the embryo, or I should say, beta state, in reference to where they are right now.
yeah, I think they're past their beta stage. I think they've done fairly well past their beta stage, but it's just I'm learning a lot of things, as you guys can hear. So you can hear in my voice, like I'm putting in the work, the good, the bad, and the ugly. I only have so much capacity. And since wealth charge doesn't solve enough of the problems I'm looking to solve in the future, it's not where I'm putting my focus on.
Okay. Now, another question I had, as far as the Ninja Trader, have you ever heard of this gentleman, Saber Trader?
No.
He has a automation dashboard for Ninja Trader, and he's always, and his platform is, I mean, his that particular indicator is not that expensive. What I'll do, I'll drop a screenshot of what it looks like. You would know better than me what you're
I
looking at.
would just be careful. So there's a lot of groups, people selling you $1,000 Ninja Trader wealth chart automation thing. But remember, and I'm going to try to bite my tongue in how I say this, but remember, at the end of the day, the goal to all of this is to make money. And some of those, for example, they don't give you enough openness in order to use them in terms of control. You will inevitably fail the prop firms, okay? And or some of the prop firms don't allow those things, especially if you're mirroring somebody else's strategy. So it's a problem. The biggest reason why like automating something like the breakout strategy is a little bit different and falls into a different category is because when Sonia does it, she's going to use the 2-minute time frame and she's going to be doing maybe just gold. When Matt does it, he's going to use the 5-minute time frame. He's going to be doing just ES. When Donna does it, she's going to do the 30-minute time frame with a 1-minute break. Like there's enough variables that it's still your own strategy. But at the end of the day, most of these firms across the board do not pay out on copy trading. I'm going to say it one more time. I know we like to think so. I know we like to promote so, but most of the firms do not pay out on copy trading other people's strategies and trades.
Yeah, and his particular indicator is a couple $100, at the most 300. But that was just FYI.
No, yeah, there's 1,000, but so I look, if you find that your eyes see it best, I don't care what you put on this chart. You can put pickles and dinosaurs and whatever. I mean, lines or no lines, trend lines or no trend. Like I'm 100% in support of wherever you see fit for, what to help you learn to trade. But just I want you to be able to make the mistakes you need to make, but only make them once. Okay. That's kind of the concept I'm trying to get people to move toward. It's fine. Like, I don't care what strategy you want to use. I don't care what mistakes you make along the way, but don't go strategy hop. Don't go try one new copy system, one new this system. It simply won't work. And all you're doing is making the same mistake in a different dress over and over and over again.
True that. Okay. Thank you, Jen.
No, you are welcome. Tradovate and Ninja Trader have lifetime fees to some extent. Please check with them. I'm not going to be the voice of authority on all of that stuff. It's also a liability thing. So you guys need to know what that cost is. That is not up to me to know. I believe you can get licenses for that through the prop firms you're using. So that is an option.
YM going its way up again.
It is. And a nice little bounce off of the VWAP. So if you're not in it, I'm going to re-enter my YM. I'm going to do 2 contracts because YM is pretty inexpensive. So there you go. Has anyone tried Train Seeker? I have not yet. There's another one I'm looking at. I just haven't promoted it or even uploaded it because it's very expensive for most people. It's, $400 or $500 for most people. That's a lot of money a month. That's $6,000 a year. Okay. I want people to have success. And yes, I believe if your plan is to make $500,000 this year or $250,000 this year, 6,000 is not a big hit. I know it feels like a big hit, But 6,000, if you're trying to make $250,000, is a very normal average expense ratio. Okay, it's not bad. But until you're at the profitable spot, I'm trying to keep expenses down to the best of our ability, which brings me to my question before that. Apex is hard, but I think in learning the hard, you get a little bit better at what you value. You get a little bit better at how to take this trade and find maybe you got knocked out, but you also did not lose, right? If I had taken that YM trade on take profit trade on Apex, I would have won probably 5 or 6 times because there's no way I would have let it come back down. I would have had no drill down where I would have lost the trade. Like there's literally no in between. So there isn't an there is an asset to that. So dollar for dollar, take profit trader, I think is better. Right now they have no activation fee using code 6FTC. So technically the full account is cheaper. So you pass it and then you don't have to pay the eval fee, which means the entire account costs you $119 or whatever it is right now. Apex is $33, but when you pass it, you pay like 85 or 129, or don't ask me what it is right now. So that technically makes that account a little bit more expensive. But the problem is most people aren't passing their evals. Like if you've passed 50 to 70% of the last evals you've had, definitely go take profit trader. But if you haven't passed it and or don't know this industry, I would definitely say start with a $33 Apex account. It is the cheapest way to get access to and familiar with this industry. Honest to God. Blue Knox is also very cheap. I don't talk about them or promote them because they don't use Tradovate. They only use Rhythmic and whatever else. So there's that. Is the activation fee pass? I paid 37 and then I paid 125, but it changes all the time. So just so you know. So at the end, it's no, there's not 33.47 after. Once you pass it, you own that PA account for life or until you blow it. So you do not keep paying $33 for that account. Once you pass it, the account is paid off forever. Forever and forever. Okay. Anybody else have any questions, comments? Scott, what did you look at the Affordable Indicators website?
Yes.
What do you think? I think you could meet or beat some of that stuff for real.
Yeah, I've got a completely different approach to what they're doing. I don't know yet whether I want to commit to doing this. It's going to take me, a year or so of my time to try to bootstrap everything up on a new platform. And if I'm doing this, I'd be thinking about ways to make it more generic so that I can hook it into other platforms. And new programming language, blah, blah, blah.
How comfortable are you with ChatGPT?
I've only peripherally played with it. I've heard there are better platforms for doing software, and it might be possible for me to leverage AI to get the job done.
I think you could, because like once you have it built, I mean, well, especially for someone like you, for somebody like me, it seems nearly impossible. But for somebody like you, if you have the code for MetaTrader and you ask it to translate it into PineScript, well, actually, maybe for you, it'd make it harder, but it'll give you the bones, you know what I'm saying? And then you just go in and you tweak the other things.
Yeah.
So I just, for how well this works, like, and how much I was willing to pay them, I'm blown away. Okay. That it does not. And then the worst part is the chat doesn't seem to have an answer. And it all can't be internet, because for it to buy when you say sell, that is a huge problem. For it to, so if I can show you, hey, I have micros clicked on all the orders and I posted it in their chats, like you can go see the trades. Like I have micros selected and it chooses ES, like on all those entries. On those smaller accounts, they weren't made for that. My daily drawdown limit set to like 300 to 500 or whatever. So it knocks me out entirely. Like it's done. And then the whole orders versus execution things, there's just so much that goes into this that make it, it's rough. So
Yeah, well, it's going to be dependent on what I find that I can get from their APIs. I'm pulling a lot of information from MetaTrader databases, and in order to get pricing of things and all, all kind of information I use for getting appropriate lot sizing and that kind of thing. So I need to find out what is available.
Hmm. Hey, Ian, whatever, put your, Ian, it's Ian, right? Gosh, you guys, you can laugh at me later. Put that link in the chat if you would, because I'll check it out.
Okay, I'm looking for it right now.
Yeah, I honestly will check it out. And NAS is moving back up. Gold is moving up too.
ES seems to be stuck at a 1 hour level that goes back quite a ways.
I like this. I just want to see this make a, so we're back into the 15-minute range on gold. We're breaking above the 50%. We've got 12 minutes left on the newest 15-minute candle. Let it come down, preferably fill this little imbalance. And if we confirm and stay above 3289, we can kind of stay above this area with bodies, not wicks. I'm looking to buy this up. If we fail to stay above with bodies, not wicks, then I'm no longer looking for that buy entry. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna go. Is this a free resource or is this you gotta pay for it or paste and go?
I don't recall. I just know when I was working with I call my ChatGPT Mateo to do some things with Pine Script and TradingView. I was getting stuck in a few places because he can get stubborn. And a buddy of mine told me to use Claude. So because I didn't switch over to them, they probably did charge. But this was, several months ago. So honestly, I can't recall.
$17 a month.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Okay, so the commenting questions in the chat. Let's see. Chat. I was told I'm gonna check that out though. So thank you. Thank you, Anne. How to get the blue box? This is an indicator. So if I go here, future tick and point value, I go here. About this script, type in future tick and point value into your indicator search map, and that's how you're gonna get that. And I'll give you that. NVIDIA is still booming. Now I'm going back to the chat. Yeah, do your own math, guys. Like the prop firms are expensive. So please pick a budget that you can live with for say 3 to 6 months. If you cannot live with that budget for 3 to 6 months, that budget is too high. So if you cannot live with the budget you're picking for 3 to 6 months without making a single dime, that budget is too high. It takes people time. There's much to learn, and that's trading one account at a time slowly. Better yet, most people go in full port, okay? Funny song at the beginning of class. Like even going slow, it takes time. And you don't get me wrong, you could technically, I ran my mouth last week. I was like, hey, just do this, da, 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 you'll get a payout next Friday. Like technically, I'm not wrong, but you have to know who you're talking to. Like you have to know that they have the capacity to trade. Like it's 7 days into a payout. I'm talking a sizable payout too with Take Profit Trader, which is awesome. It's amazing. But to what extent? Like, are you going to allow yourself to buy 2 accounts a month? How many accounts are you going to allow yourself to buy or reset per month? And then if it dies, don't just cancel the billing, let it rebuild next month. Maybe consider not allowing yourself to reset it every single day. Like there's a lot of ways we can kind of lock in a little bit on some of what we're spending. But across the board, Take Profit Trader is by far my favorite. 10 to 1. Like we probably don't need 500 other firms. We probably don't, if we're being honest. The only reason I'm wasting such an astronomical amount of money with Apex is because I have this big aspiration to do this 6, 7 figure payout. But at what cost? So we'll see. We'll see. I do know people who have, got pretty far. But again, trading style is different. They mostly trade on Tradingvate, nothing else. And I think that's all the questions. I think, oh, just closed $2,500 on YM. That's awesome. Good job. $2,500 is not a small trade. One trade. One trade. What size is your account? The other reason I like Take Profit Trader isn't just because it's an easy payout. It's because on a day like today where I pulled back a little bit on YM. Obviously, YM is pretty cheap. I'm in drawdown a little bit. I closed out a few micro little wins and then one bigger winner on ES. Still missed the major part of the move, by the way. And then this huge win on YM. That's not violating any rules, but on certain firms, it really does violate rules. You can't have a big winner. Like you can't have a bad day. You can't have a big winner. One of your trades can't be larger than 30%. One of your days can't be larger than 30%. On a crappy day, even if you don't go on tilt, you can't have lost 30%. Like that sounds pretty reasonable, but remember it's 30% of your full P&L. So like it's the way it balances out, it's kind of hard. And with take profit trader, that's not a thing. Neither with Blue Knox. Neither with them, but they just don't have Tradovate. Not at all. Okay, so here's where we're sitting, guys. We have literally nothing to write home about on ES gold. We filled this, that's on the 5-minute time frame beautifully. This would have been the ideal entry. We've swept the low. This right here, this candle that's breaking above 5-minute time frame. Not true scalping. I like the 5-minute a lot for getting my bigger direction. So I love this trade a lot. Yes, nothing. NQ. Maybe we're reaching the top, but everything is still up. Oh, what is this graying we have happening right now? What's all this?
Hey, Jenny, question.
Yeah, coming out.
Hey, so you said that oh God, with Tradovate, for example, if you got take profit trader, if you have multiple accounts with them, can you copy through Tradovate your account?
Yes,
Okay. But you can't do like TBT and then some other prop firm that also uses Tradovate, correct?
that's correct. That's the part I'm struggling with. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Like, I guess I could just shove my ego down and say, hey, look, I'm going to only focus on take profit trader until I hit, $250,000 in payouts or something. Because you can trade, I think it's up to 5 accounts at a time. And then I don't know, please don't quote me. Please check with the appropriate prop firms. But I believe you can have a couple of past evals in reserve, with most of these firms. So I can trade up to 3 to 5 accounts of evals and pro or pro pluses. And the difference with take profit trader is they will allow you to have a pro plus account. And I believe you can still have the eval, like you can still go back in for another eval on a pro account. At least that's right now how they're doing it. But the CEO is talking about some changes in that department. So don't hold me to a fire for that. I'm not 100% sure. But it might be just a good idea to say, hey, look, I'm going to budget this much money, take profit trader only. If I really want something that's off risk, a different firm, I'll do one Blue Guardian account a month. And because Apex is hard, like Apex is only worth really pursuing if you're going for this other method, which you may as well, I guess, practice on take profit trader because it's still Tradovate. It is still Tradovate. But we just closed above that pivot level that we called on ES. As you guys know, I did not catch that whole move, but that's okay. That was the pivot level. We closed above it plus some. Gold is pulling back up a little bit. So I love this entry right here. We've come down to fill that imbalance. We've closed above the 20 moving average. We're breaking above a trend line. We're breaking above VWAP. We broke above, closed. We're retesting now. This is that perfect retest. Beautiful, really confirmation that we're trying to buy. So if I was looking for one more trade on the day, which if you don't need, don't take it, this would be the trade I'd be looking for. So wait for it to kind of confirm. Obviously, your first targets are going to be, what is that, pre-market? For this, though, you're not necessarily giving it the breakout amount of room. I'd be giving it kind of just past these lows. You can also give it that 50%, but I think that's a bit tight. So play up to you on how you do that. Beyond that, we have an enormous imbalance all the way up into here. So if you are looking for one more trade, I'd be looking to buy gold. I'm looking to sell NQ real quick too, though.
Miss Jenny, I have a question for you.
Come on out.
Um, I know you can't really give financial advice and that kind of thing, but would you consider starting an LLC, for example, for trading
Yes.
prior to prior to profiting or after profiting?
Speak to an accountant. It depends on what like your current income is, write-offs, marital status, lifestyle. But remember, again, this is not legal and financial advice, but you can write off like the last 5 years worth of expenses. So let's assume you have a lot longer than today's mindset or this month. And hey, if I don't make it this month, I'm never figuring out I'm quitting. If you're the kind of person who's going to stick with this, there's an advantage to having an LLC even without having an income. And of course, I'm not supposed to say that legally, financially, blah, 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 but there are people who just have LLCs and no income behind them because it's a phenomenal write-off tool. Okay. So I say that to say, yes, an LLC I think is always a good thing, always, because you can do so much with that, especially depending on what your income is. If your income is substantially low, it doesn't have a lot of benefit for you. But if you have any amount of like tax burden, it does have an exponential amount of benefit for you. So my initial answer across the board is yes. I don't know what your state is, but figure it's $200 to $500, depending on if you're going to get a nice, pretty booklet with it. EIN, state registry. It's a very simple process. You don't have to necessarily hire somebody. You can if you want to. I'm selling NQ, guys. Just a little scalp. But anyways, yes, I would. And here's why. Like the truth is, if I spend the next, let's just say 36 months, not making money, okay? Real talk, not fun, but real talk. 36 months where I'm literally just pouring money in, and let's say I'm spending $500 to $600 a month. That I can write off on year 6 when you pull out $150,000, and you can even what did they call it? Oh, somebody help me. Like depreciation, appreciation, whatever. Like you can schedule that over the course of the next X amount of years. So
Right.
you don't have to write it all off on year 1. You can say, hey, look, my startup costs that I spent equaled to be $70,000. So you don't have to take that whole $70,000 write-off on the first profitable year. You can now, having spread it out between whatever amount of years based off of your states, your filing statuses, et cetera, et cetera. So my 100% answer is yes. You should have a business bank account, and it's harder to get some of the stuff with a business bank account. But even if you don't do the business bank account, just have a really good, bookkeeping method that says, here's all the things I did. Hey, I worked at this coffee shop. Okay. You'd be surprised what you can write off. And at first, you might not be that cash in hand profiting. But again, depending on what your income is, you will be profiting in other ways because of you're limiting your tax liability, and you're getting back the steak dinner that went out with. And there's just a lot of ways that maybe aren't cash in hand, but they have a different value.
Right, because I have an LLC I've had for over 5 years in Georgia, where I'm originally from, but in California, the amount they charge for an LLC is ridiculous. The yearly fee is over. It's like $800, which I think is ridiculous.
Well,
So I
then
would.
don't put your LLC in
Well,
California.
true, yeah, yeah, true.
You just need to find yourself a registered agent someplace.
Right, right.
Put it in, heck, even Florida, New Hampshire. Like if you're planning on getting real wealthy, there's New Hampshire. Florida has no personal tax, especially if you're filing it as a straight through filing process. But you've got loads of options. Maybe don't do California because you don't want it to be expensive either.
Exactly.
Wyoming is getting up there. Nevada is getting up there, and they don't even have the same insane protections that they used to have anyways. So
Wisconsin's about $25.
there, Wisconsin's 25. I didn't know that. See, what is that with the lights, the EIN and everything?
Yeah, the EIN, you just register that with the feds. That's free.
That's pretty easy.
It's just the LLC renewal, the annual report. I just filled one out, about $25.
Yeah, I've seen it. That's super cheap. Because I have me and my partners have a C Corp in Florida, and they want 150 every year. So 20, I've never seen 25. That's a great price.
Yeah, I do
C
150.
corps are expensive anyway.
Well, mine was
True.
150 for my LLC and for C S Corp as well. So
And you can do S Corp filing status for an LLC.
Yeah.
That's just an election.
Yeah. You don't have to actually transfer the title over. But my answer, always business minded, is yes. Now, granted, it takes us getting more, structured as an adult, as a human. But the value, and think about what the rich people do, the stupid rich, okay? Not the flashy YouTube rich, okay? The real wealthy
Rich.
people, yeah. The real wealthy people, first off, they own nothing. They brag about owning nothing, okay? They put it all in LLCs, trusts, they do all the things, but everything is a write-off. And if they can't get it to be a write-off, they go through a different channel to make it a write-off. So yes, making, let's just say, $250,000 a year is maybe the goal or whatever, but you can gain 50% of that in, I'll call it intrinsic value, from other avenues if you just structure your life right. Like, you can pay your kid, you can write off your housekeeper, your lawn. There's so many things you can do that now you're buying a lifestyle. You're not buying stuff. And I'm big on that. It's to me, it's not about stuff. I'm not that stuff oriented. Like, stuff comes and goes so much. And plus I have kids and that just ruins them. I know because I did it, right? Um, but just buy the lifestyle is what you're doing. You're buying back your time. You're buying back your options. And that's kind of my biggest goal is I want to have quite a few more million in some long-term holds, a little bit more real estate, which pretty much now says my entire life, including my legacy, and that's my children's lives, is always, good. Okay. It is not Maserati good. It is if you never worked or something major happened or there's a $5 million medical problem, you will be okay. Good. Okay. If your mother needs bearing or your niece needs a car, I'm not talking, 200,000, 500,000 or a car. I'm saying you're good overall in lifestyle. And that's kind of what I teach, what I preach, what I hopefully help a lot of people get to in this journey that we're on here. And that takes an LLC. Across the board, you need the LLC.
I love that. I appreciate it. Thank you.
You are welcome.
Miss Jenny,
Yes, sir.
good morning. How are you doing?
I'm selling NAS. I'm doing pretty good.
I know it's been a beautiful day. I've
Yeah.
made 650 on MES this morning on the pre-market. But I got a quick question for you. Two questions. Piggyback off of Scott. Six-figure trading coach, you said it's going away.
The Telegram channel is going away.
Okay. All right. Okay. Discord is still going to be around.
Yes.
Okay.
Discord is going to be around.
Okay. That's what I wanted to make sure of. And can this strategy be used on Plexi?
Yes.
Okay. So I can load it on Plexi?
No.
No. Okay.
Okay, so the indicator, so this setup right here on TradingView, you can use it on anything. Like if you want to be the crypto guy, and say, hey, I just want to go trade on my Coinbase a little bit every day, you got to be careful of the tiny time frames because, well, sometimes there's a lot of gaps in this kind of stuff in the candles, okay? But watch, if you are just looking for your one crypto trade a day, okay, today it was down, okay? You can use this on anything. If you realize that your stock portfolio is not doing as sexy as you wanted it to do, and they're not doing as good of a job as they maybe should, okay? So they're not even beating the SPY, for example, okay? They're not even beating that. They're not even averaging you the 12%. Plus, they're taking 2.5%. Plus, there's a management fee. Plus. You're realizing like 4% a year, and you're like, you know what? I can do 1% a month. I'm going to do this once a week and I'm going to add my own trade or something. You can do that. So I'm going to go to whoopsie. You can, and this is going to be a little bit different because it's extended trading hours, but you can come over here to Apple. Okay. Oh, this is a much smaller time frame, but I know people who use this very strategy or comparable versions of it. They buy their one stock, or they sell their one stock respectively. They take it to a certain standard deviation, low of day, high of day, pre-market high, yesterday's high or low, and they're done. They place their trade on their Robinhood, their interactive brokers, their Schwab, their options trading. I know nothing about options, but you can do this on anything. So use maybe.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I've been using it on Plexi. I set up my trade on TradingView, then I go to Plexi. I just didn't know if I could use it, transfer this trading system to Plexi or any other platform.
The
Well,
system, yes. The indicator, no.
The indicator, yeah, the indicator. I know the system works because I use it on other systems, but I didn't know if I could take the indicator and move it over there. So that's fine.
in theory, we should have this pretty locked and loaded for MT5 shortly, but I'm not a coder, so I'm Scott, if you want to help with that, I will pay you or whatever. I'm 90% sure I've got to check with the team. We did just pick a new developer so we can finalize.
Oh, I use the fib tool.
Yeah. Yeah, there's so many ways to do it, but I want them to have kind of like the bells and whistles they have with Golden Strategy. I want them to have the lot sizes, contract sizes. I want them to have levels of standard deviation. I want them to be able to click automation. So like on here, this one's not turned into a strategy, but I have other version of this that is turned into a strategy to where you can actually turn it on, set the alert, run it through a trade sync or pick my trade kind of thing. And it'll take it automatically just once a day, one trade a day. And if you're doing a micro, you won't blow your account. Okay. Like you'll be up or down on the day, and then that's one trade a day. You do that one session, two sessions. It just helps you compound naturally. So on FX, obviously you have more leverage though. So it's a little different ballpark. Different. Look at all these gaps on this actually, guys. Even Robinhood gapped up. I wonder why. Crypto's down. This stuff is gapping up.
That's the daily open.
Yeah,
The stock market looks like that all the time.
I don't look at this enough to know. I don't know better.
Well, look at the daily chart.
The daily chart. Okay, I'm gonna turn this off.
I was just going to bring that all in. It gaps every day.
That's a big one though, huh?
They might have just had earnings. Check the little lightning bolt down there. Click on that lightning bolt and you'll see, they're joining the S&P 500.
Yeah, that'll do it. NASDAQ.
I'm going to log out, guys. Have a great day.
Yeah, no, have a wonderful, happy Tuesday, Scott.
And I'll spend some time investigating NinjaTrader
Yeah.
and Claude. Thanks for the heads up, Ian.
Yeah, that would probably be helpful because ChatGPT is lacking for sure. It's helpful, but lacking, especially for a novice like me.
They do limit usage, so I'll have to see. I've been looking at their plans and, how much you can feed into it. It's like, it's fairly limited. So if I try to feed in a code base, that's going to use up my usage for days.
Okay.
So I'll figure something out.
Yes, sir. Well, let me know how it goes.
Okay. Bye all.
Okay, guys. Well, we got a couple of great trades. NQ just pushed up a little bit. Everything is this is an interesting view by far. Look at that. That's that. Anybody have any further questions, comments? Those are the things. You definitely made some amount of money today. If you did, do your best to go not give it back. I know one good thing about Project X is they have that lockout feature, whereas on Tradovate, it's not the same. Like you can manually do it, but you can also manually undo it. So lock yourself out. If you're up on the day, be up on the day and walk away. We don't need more than that. We don't need to have a bajillion dollars in a day. In fact, it's a really good way to go full port. So, and last call, any other questions, comments? My neighbor needs some help with some things, and this poor doggy, this poor puppy does not smell pretty, guys, at all, and won't leave my feet. Poor baby. All right, guys. In that case, happy Tuesday. Thank you all for hanging out. If you enjoyed this, please make sure you go like, comment, subscribe, do all the things on the videos and the chat rooms and wherever you do have access to. As always, any questions, comments, or chart markups, put them in the chats. Happy Tuesday, happy trading. Take care, and God bless. Love you
Have a
guys.
pleasant day.
Oh, I'm gonna look at gold too, actually.